Hello, it's a town dog, and I'm back in FSX team again, multiplayer, and I'm sitting here on this same little airport landed on yesterday. I switched planes. I went to this uh, Stearman Barnstorming American Airbeam plane. It's a nice little plane. I enjoy flying and mess with it. I've also got a panel picks to be with all kind of high power equipment you want to use. That's the way I fly a lot. And this thing flies with all kinds of help that you want to use if you want to. It'll do it all. Anyway, we're here, and I've got to make one small disclaimer or whatever from yesterday, or correction in my speech yesterday when I was coming up the lake out here getting ready to land, or yesterday, or whatever it was, in that other plane. I said I was headed up to Marcellus Airport. Anybody that watched it and checked it might realize I was wrong. The Marcellus Airport is a few miles to the east of here at the end of the other lake, and this is Flying K. That is actually the airport I wanted to land on, was Flying K, not Marcellus. When I went to the map to get the name, I got it off of the wrong airport, and that's why I kept using it. I didn't really remember the name of the airport. I went to the map check, and when I got it, I went to the wrong airport, the wrong lake at the other end when I zoomed down. Anyway, that's where I got that mistake from. And now I am at Flying K. This airport is not as tall as the other one at the other end of the lake. The other is 2,200, I think, square feet above sea level. I didn't need to check it, but I think it's about where it was. This here is 1,300. Let me see what I had here. I wrote it down here somewhere. I said it did. I don't see it. Anyway. It was 1,300. Yeah, 1,350 feet is what it is above sea level to this airport. And where I'm sitting now is on the corner facing back toward the lake where I can look across the plain. You see the lake that we came off of coming into here to land. That's the lake right there. Now what I got in plan today is for a flight from here to, I don't know how long it is, maybe so long to get plumb bored. But we're going to fly from here up to Rochester, VOR, Rochester to Buffalo, VOR, and VOR we're going to go across the lake to Toronto Pearson, land ILS and into Toronto. It's my intention. I wish I had more severe weather setup, but I don't. I think it's a real world, though. I don't know what it's going to do. Anyway, we're going to get ready to take off out here. I'll be leaving this airport, and I'll probably fly at about 3,500 feet part of the time. As long as I stay above the ground, I'm not worried about the altitude. If I have any trouble with signals and trying to pick up signals, I'll have to climb a little higher to get them. Anyway, I'm going to leave here on a heading of 290. I don't have any idea if it's going to be over in this part of the world. Using the map like I do to get the direction, although it don't seem to work real well. I miss them pretty bad. Even though I try to estimate where north is, it's never where I think it is over here. First thing it hollers at the top of the map, but no, in here it's not always at the top of the map. It's a little to the left, a little to the right, depending on the location of where you're sitting in the United States. That's the way it works in here on this map. But over here on this side of it, it has a tendency to change a little bit, and what you think it would be is not where it really is anymore. And I don't use any other software to find it. I've been able to get one and try to use it, but I haven't been doing it. But I'm going to leave here on that heading, like I say, 290, and we'll go to VOR low altitude at Rochester, 110.00, and we'll be using it to find exactly how to get to Rochester once we get started. So I guess what we do first is, I didn't bring the little lady with me today, little bow-legged lady. She said she didn't want to go in this plane, and I can't get doors open. She can't get over the seat. This thing here don't seem to have any doors that'll open or anything. You push the little button, tell it to open, and you hear it open, but you don't see it. So apparently it didn't have any graphics for that part of it in this plane. This is a pretty little plane. I like the way it flies, and we're gonna try it out for today. Now I've got, like I say, here's your virtual cockpit. That is a normal virtual cockpit. But nothing in it seems to click. I tried to come in here and turn this stuff on and off, and I couldn't get none of it to move. So it's just a cockpit. This right here might, see, I can't move that. And my 2D I can, so that's what we're gonna do. Back to my 2D. Now this, I know I got a little tight on organization here, but I got everything I have to get by. It shows here 51 degrees, and if I'm looking at that right, that looks like ice from the trees. Maybe just because I'm too close to it, it might not be ice. It looks like ice from the trees, 51 degrees. It must have warmed up fast. It ain't melted off. Anyway, we're going to try to get out here and see what we get going. Let's see if we can get this thing started. I don't see a fuel switch nowhere, so I'm going to make like that's going to work, and I sure hope it does. Park brakes on. It crank without it. Well, magnetors don't need switch. This switches are for powering the panel inside. Now we got to run it. Let's turn everything on, except that don't come on anyway. Don't matter. It does have smoke. Look at that smoke. This thing puts out a fair amount of smoke, just like my other plane does. That's where I got smoke for the other plane. Well, I got out several of them, but anyway, here we go. We're gonna leave here like it's on heading 290, squawking for VOR 110.00. So let's get that first. Before we move the plane, 110.00 right there. This is a low altitude, so you got to be closer to it. I would imagine before this comes on here, Buffalo would be on, because it's high altitude, but I'm not going to go that way. I'm going to go to Rochester first and then to Buffalo. But Buffalo VOR is 11640. So I will get it ready also in standby and have it ready. Want to be changing while we're there. There we go. There we go, both of them ready. I don't know about my fuel. Here I might need a pretty good tank of fuel, so let's check it out and see what we got. I haven't even thought about the fuel this morning. I should be full though, since it's over 6 pounds overweight, so it's got to be full to be there. That's all right. I always add fuel to my planes, the tanks and fuels, without holding enough to be a little overweight. That way that it'll burn off to the right weight pretty quick, and it'll leave us enough fuel to go a little extra distance beside the usual. That's just the way I set my planes up. I suppose in real life I'd probably do the same thing if possible. Fix it where it'll go far as it can and still be fairly safe flying. If it gets hot, you just don't put as much in it. If you get to a point you can't fly that weight, you leave it a little, just don't fill them up. But when you do need it, and you got, like now it's cool, you could fill them plumb full probably, and still get off the ground. If you had that extra passenger, you may have to drop a little fuel. Again, I don't know. I don't remember what the config says. I may have a 170-pound man in that front seat. Usually what they do, they put 170 for each one of them, which I weigh much above them. That's beside the point. Now, I wish we could get this thing in there and head out on a heading, like I said, of 290. We verify that. Set this on about 290. So I got autopilot, so I can set this with a lot easier, but we'll do it this way this time. 70, 80. That there is pretty close to 290 right there. I'm going to bring this runner with it. We're not going to use at first we won't. We may use it once it comes on. Now, I don't know if that's even going to be anywhere close to the airport, but maybe it's close enough to get the signal on. That's all we need. Once the signal comes on, it don't matter where, how bad off I am. That signal comes on, we got it. Let's see if we can get this thing in there. Back off a little bit of that distance there. We don't need a full throttle. We just need enough to fly the plane. About 80–90% there, be alright. Now we're going to bring this thing around to that heading, and we're watching for the signals to come on. I'm going to bring this back up so I can, it's on already, see it right there? It's on already. I was going to set the beeper, I don't need it. I'm going to say that's pretty well going to be there for what I'm looking for. So let's bring it around to it. And we'll go ahead and turn to the heading I said and see what it does to us. Like me, it's going to be pretty close, so we'll cut the nose too high. Get back down there. Have my finger on the trim button, just kept trimming like an idiot. Here we go. Here we go. And that's not off real bad for this. As I tell me, looks at that. Actually, right there is roughly what I said, and we only off that much. Get yourself back down there. What are you doing? Too much or not enough? Trying to level this thing off physically. Now, in order to prove how much we're off, I'm going to bring this right here up. That way I can actually read the number. I was off 3 degrees to start with. There's my actual one. Look there. Did come near dead on it. 290 I was talking about. That was a pretty good shot. Really, that ain't bad at all. So we're going to climb to, I said, about 3,500. Let's try that. Since we already got the signal, we ain't got to get that high if we don't want to. We'll go to 3,500. I may come back down to see more scenery in the area, everything. Go with it right there. We got this right, and that ain't bad off her. We can move this amount where we're actually off. Is 3 degrees, 2 degrees. 8, 9, 10. 2 degrees off from where we said. Now we'll set this button, it'll fly itself. And I've got airspeed and all on this plane, so about 110 or 15, 20 at the most. That's pretty fast for this plane right there. Now we're going to go to, and one more pop-up and we can know exactly where we at. We're 44 miles out of Rochester right now. Let's go to Rochester. Once we get to Rochester, we're still, well, we're going down, it says. I guess that's right, though. We done got above it. Oh, man, it just leveled off. Yep, just leveled off. We had gotten above 3,500 before I said it. I didn't even look at where we were at. All right, we're headed to Rochester, New York, and we're going to go from there to Buffalo and then across the water. We'll leave Rochester on the heading of $270. Leave Rochester on the heading of 270. Now if we move this back to 270 as we get close, it'll turn itself into 270 on its own. We won't have to do them except just keep flying. I'm going to bring this heading bug to the same setting as that. And FSX, that's just something I've always tried to do a little bit every now and then. I don't always, but almost always set it in the same direction I'm going. Whether I use it or not, in X-plane, you have to set it, don't the plane won't fly the line. It'll fly the nav button, but it's got to have the reference off the heading bug to do it as well. That's, once I started doing that, the plane flies pretty decent on navigation. But it's still every now and then it goes plumb crazy, it gives me the wrong distance. It'll tell me I'm 20 miles out while I'm over 100. Stuff like that. Stuff that hadn't got worked out exactly right on the map yet, you know, on the planes and the map. I don't know why it does it, but it does it. It's done that way several times. Almost every time I fly a big plane distance, I get messed up on distance. I generally know better when I see it, when I'm that far off. If you're that far off, you should know where you're at that much. And I generally know that it's wrong, but until you get past that point, it don't correct itself. have to. The other day flying across Louisiana, I come down to land on the airport 40 miles away was really was over 100. But I didn't know that area. When he told me I was close, I thought I was close. Even though my eyes was telling me I wasn't, because I was over the Mississippi River and that was plumb across Louisiana. It had to be over 100 miles on that angle. But still, it said I was that close. I thought, well, maybe it's right. So I come down, and after I got down, it changed after a few minutes to about 90 miles left. Then I figured that was right. Yeah, let's look at a little scenery right here. Ain't much scenery to look at all. There's that Finger Lakes right there. That right there's the lake there's the airport we just left out from on top of that mountain back there. That's what I knew it was it. Because that's what I was looking for, that one on top of that mountain. Now the other one that I was looking at, might even be able to see it, I don't know. It's on back in yonder. The other lake right there. The other one in there somewhere, there's another, it's actually taller than that, it's 1,800 feet. But it's bigger, that's it right there. It's a bigger, when you get on top of it, you've got enough room for actually 2 runways and some extra woods and all over. And that's what, when I saw it had that second runway, it got late and lights come on, it had lights on one of the grass strips. And it was 2 grass strips, so when I was on, it wasn't supposed to have 2, and that's when I knew I was wrong. Actually, I didn't land on the wrong one. I went out and come back in by the ICAO and they put me on the wrong one. And that's when I knew that information I gave was wrong, because it done stuck me over where I didn't belong. But the video showed me land on the right airport by the wrong naming as I talk. But that's, I'm not going to take the video down with that and try to redo it. I'll just let it go. I took down one yesterday, Half-Life 2. I finished it. I walked through on Half-Life 2 episode 2. Finished it yesterday, and I thought I had when I put the other one up at episode 9 or part 9, I put it up. I thought it was going to be another pretty good battle coming. I remembered it, but of what I remembered, the battle I had already done, I thought was after what was at. I remember when I done that, I said, "You mean it's the end of the game?" That's because it felt like it was where that thing come out there is how the end of the game ends, but it was at a different time. So when I went back and started the game back up, 2 minutes after I started, the game was coming to an end. So if I went on instead of making a 2-minute video, so I went on, made that video, and stopped it, and took the one down that I had just finished, recut the end of it, and put that other 2 or 3 minutes onto it, and put it back up. It had 3 viewers. If you take it down, I guess you lose the viewers, but it didn't matter. You ain't gonna matter. It's better to do that than just have stuff wrong. So I put it back up with the ending on it like it should, plus the other ending. Said that I was going to do another part, and when you finish it out, you don't need to say you're going to do another part. So I come back and redone the ending and made it show a final instead of another part. But anyway, that's what we done to that, and we got that done. Now the playthrough is done on Half-Life 2 episode 2. If you want to watch the whole thing, it's there in the end all the way through. Just watch each part in order, and it'll be in order as it played. I'm back in the air today, flying across here in this little. This is a Stearman, what I call air beans, American beans, and then we got the coffee on there. There we go. Too close. Back off a little. So. Gorilla. Whatever, anyway. Some kind of coffee. And of course this is a barnstormer. You see little stickers on the wings with things I've been doing. This is a wing walker plane. I'm trying to turn the wrong simulator. Doesn't play the other simulator enough, so I'll get them mixed up now. I keep trying to turn X-Blade instead of turn this one. What did I hear go click click? What is something I done? Oh, I know what it is. It's on multiplayer. I keep forgetting I'm on multiplayer. People get on the mic, make noises in game. Some of them even talk. Some of them can't talk. Most of them just squawk and act stupid. They don't make noise. They don't know they ain't talking. They think they are. But anyway, if you're playing FSA multiplayer, if you want to have good voice on it, you need to get your group together into somebody's TeamSpeak, mine or anybody's, and either TeamSpeak or Discord. You need to be able to talk to each other like you should. And because I post mine on the beginning when you come in, and again every now and then I try to post it live in here while I'm in here. A lot of times I'm not in here. Well, right now I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. Got 8 people, maybe more. Six, 9 people is here, besides me. Now I don't mind furnishing a server for people to play in, as long as they let me do my thing and don't get too rambunctious while I'm flying. If they get too close to me or run over my plane a few times, I will kick them out. But other than that, they can do what they want to do. They can follow me. They can do anything they want to do. Just don't fly into my plane or get rambunctious with me when I'm trying to fly, or me or any of my group, or even each other. If I see people flying through each other, I'll kick both of them out. Because there's no use doing that. This is a simulator type game, and it's not real by a long shot, but at the same time, I want to keep respectable as far as people's concerned. And I know people's not respectable. Another one left. Of course, they can't hear me talking, and I can't hear them. Most of them are not talking, they just fly. If they're talking, they're in TeamSpeak somewhere, I don't know where. So they're not talking in the game right, I hear them. I've got the sound turned off in the game supposed, but every now and then people come in talking anyway, so I don't know if that even works. When you got it turned off, if they'll push 2 keys, they can come through supposedly. But most people, I don't know if they do that or not. I really don't. I'm trying to create this flight. Better check, see where I'm at. 26 miles out of Rochester. Straight in front of me. I'm on navigation. I'm not flying hand today, I'm flying autopilot. The other plane I had, well, the 2 I flew here, yeah, they had autopilot just as much as this one does. I just didn't use it. I didn't have a 2D cockpit pickup like it. I have pop-ups like I get on the screen here that I can use. Now I can hide them pop-up by putting them on another panel over on the other monitor, but I'm not trying to hide them. I want people to know they're out there. And that's the equipment I'm using to fly this plane. I don't know how far this flight is. This is a 50 mile, so it's going to be probably 200 miles close to the whole flight. At least 160, 180. Depending on how far it is across the lake. Once we start, it's about 50 to here from where we left out from. And probably about that far back to, maybe a little farther back to Buffalo when we pick it up. The Buffalo's probably on already, even though I'm not ready to get on Buffalo by no means. But we will check, see if it's on. See, Buffalo's on right now. I'm not ready to fly to Buffalo. I'm going to go to Rochester first. And that's where we headed. We'll cross over Rochester, we'll turn to Buffalo. I said we was going to turn 270 right down to about 240, I think I saw there. But the further we go this way, the further it'll be around. Oh, about 270 now. But it won't come around much since we're flying toward it. We'll be off a few degrees probably. I was thinking come down further down a while ago. Go back to Rochester. We're actually not straight into Rochester, but we're on nav lock, so anything we're off as the plane itself is not going straight to it, or we got a little crosswind or something holding us off, crabbing. I haven't checked any wind or nothing, just fly. My intention is when I get to Toronto Pearson sooner or later, I'm gonna catch runway about 32, but I thought it was, oh yeah, runway 33 right. The heading of the runway is 327. ILS is 110130. Once we turn here at Rochester, we'll move Buffalo VOR to the top, and then we'll set up the ILS for, well, now we still got to set up the VOR for Toronto, so we'll set up the VOR for Toronto next. Once we get on it, then we'll set up the ILS Toronto. Somebody's got a little airport road dirt strip down there. Don't see much to look at out here. Get down lower, we might be able to look at a little something. See if anything shows up at 2,000 feet. We come back up, we lose the signal. We shouldn't lose this so close we are. We may not pick the other up like we should. 2,000, that's too much. 15, 2,000 right there. Let's ease her down to about 2,000. See if the scenery shows up being different. Go around Rochester, see if there's anything to look at. You get down lower, these trees are a little more prevalent to be able to tell more about what the texture on them are. $2,500. Now, I don't know what the altitude is out here. Probably 500 feet or so, though. So that'll be actually 3,000 above sea level, 2,500 off the ground, probably. But call out from the ground, I do believe. This thing should be alright. I'll go step on just a minute, be right back.
I like how he uses, he calls it hashtag trap music.
Back. I just had to, whether I'd passed the airport or not, I haven't. I'm still coming up on it. All I had to do to verify it is not the airport I see. It could be at raw was, but on the DME proved that it's still going down in numbers. And I'm getting closer. I haven't passed it yet, so we're fixing to get past it here in a minute. When we do pass it, we're going to turn to that heading of 270 and then check for the other airport. Now we're down to 2,000 feet. Above sea level. What that turn was, I recalibrated the equipment and had to reset it several a bit. That's all right. Now, went and got me a plate of food. I got to find time to eat. It's pretty late in the evening. All I've eaten was a little breakfast, one sausage, egg, biscuit from Jimmy Dean. That's my breakfast. That's all I've eaten today. Because I didn't get up to lunch, so it ain't been that long. And I'm going to try to eat a little of this, so I'll probably pull the headset off. Once I make this turn, I'll get into this food. But the distance between here and there is going to be just flying anyway. But I know should be more going on than what I'm doing, but I just don't have nothing set up for that right now. Oh, we do have a little city here, some high rises and stuff. Here in Rochester, it's got a pretty good sized little city here set up in it. Never been to Rochester, never been to New York in real life. I've been across it many times in the similar though. All right, we are 4 miles out of. Now what I'm gonna have to do here is set this right here back to the same as the other one, and I'm gonna turn this on for a flyover. That way it won't try to act silly. In this case, it might not understand the in and out until you pass it. It may circle it, so I'm gonna just set it up. Sometimes they'll get these VRs, they'll circle them instead of flying across them. Most times they will. So I'm gonna try it this way. See if I can get out the other side. Like I say, right over the top though. When this gets as low as it's going to go, I want to swing around to 270 here, which is only a few degrees right there. $18 degrees to the left. Prepare to turn left 18 degrees. This is at 2.2. If I don't go straight across the top, that'll never become 0. Now I'm going to move this arrow a little bit to one side, so I'm going to go that way 1 degree, trying to keep that arrow straight up where I go straight across the top of the VOR. I actually should be able to look and see the VOR. It looks like it's going to be on this airport. Probably down there or something. Now we're straight across now, 1.5 miles out from the VOR. 1.1 miles. Slide to that side again. Let's get over that way 1 more. 2 more right there. Keep coming that way a little. And 7/10 of a mile. Should be right in under me here somewhere. The VOR tower should be. There she is right there. There it is right there. That's the VOR tower right there. Something there. One of them VOR. 3/10 down. See right there. That's it. We just crossed it. That's it right there. That proved which one it was right there. That's what I was trying to do. Now we're ready to turn 270. A little late after doing all that. But since it's only so wrong way, golly. That button, you think you're on the right side and look up and you're not. 270 right there. Now let's fly out this way a little ways. Move this to 270 also. We flew past it a little, what that's looking at there. This shows I passed it a little bit, but that's alright. We could come back another few degrees. This way about 5 degrees, bring that bar back over. And I think let's take his headset off and eat me a few bites of this food. My coffee cup, I have to go put it back up, it's empty. We don't want to go back on. That went further than I thought it did a while ago when I moved it too. So I don't want to go back on now until I get at least 10 miles out or so. Still working toward that bar real slow. 4 degrees into the bar. Now I can go straight out and be alright. Now it'll still show me drifting off a little probably, but I can deal with that. About between 8 and 10 miles out, something like that. We lock back on the nav and follow it. Actually, we passed the bar about just starting to pass it a little. The further you go, the tighter that arrow will get toward the middle of on the distance. I'm gonna come over 2 more degrees into the wind. See if it'll hold that bar closer. It's still slipping to the right. That's why I have to fly to the right to get into it. The radial I'm wanting on is over there. We're pretty close on it right now, but if we hit that button, it will turn. It always turns though, no matter how close you are, it's still going to turn a little. Sometimes it just sort of fishes, it'll check it and come back. Somebody's coming in with that F-14 Tomcat. We'll go 1 more that way. Move 1 more to the right. That bar is still looking pretty good back on her. Now it's coming back. I'm going to go back to the left now. Try to keep that bar from going any further. It's about center now. Go back to right there and see if it don't slip again. We're 4 miles out. We're close enough now. We could actually lock on now. It wouldn't hurt nothing. I like to be a little further out though, the rule. The bar is almost perfect now. When I say bar, that broken line right there, line is what I'm talking about. All that stays a whole arrow not broke to one side. We're real close to our line. That's what we after. We're flying VOR out. It's time to change over actually. So we're going to see how bad off we were. We was off about 8 degrees, so we're going to come around to that. Let's change this over. We don't have to get back on another line because we're going to be using this one anyway. Now we're 38 miles from Buffalo, and it's over there. Now we can line this by turning. 270 is what I set up, and that's how much I was off on that. I can tell you how many degrees that was. I was off about 8 degrees, what I called it a while ago. 62 lined it. Now we can get on that. Get on that into Buffalo. And this right here will point straight to Buffalo anyway. That's 62 there. Put this on 62 also. Right there. Now we go straight into Buffalo. And from Buffalo we're going to leave. Now I said we're going to set up Toronto Pearson VOR. VOR Toronto Pierce is Toronto CYYZ is a VOR, and it is, surely I wrote it down. Let's see the ILS. I wrote down what it was, but I don't see the number to it. Sure don't. Tell you what I can do. Let's see, this right here don't work. Go right here. My book should come up on the other screen. I had halfway on the other screen. Now I can go to that because it's in it, I'm pretty sure. Go down to out of the country, which is at the bottom. All of the out of country areas that I've got listed is listed by ICAO. So I can go up to CYYZ, which is Canada. Toronto Pearson CYYZ. The VOR is 11215. That's what I got on my book. I don't see it on this book. I thought I wrote it down, but I don't see it. I wrote down what the name of it and everything was, and all. I do not see that. I got the ILS. I don't see the VOR. Anyway, we do have it on my book, so I went back to it instead of pulling the map. And book says Toronto Pierce is 11215, so let's go with that. Okay. Right there. Now it may be on also. It's high altitude also. I'm not reading it just altitude apparently, if that's right. I may have to double check that too later if it don't come on. Well, we also may be over 200 miles away from it. I hope not. But if we are, I don't know how far it is across the lake, so it's just one of them things. If we climb back up, that may come on. Let's get back up to at least 3,500 again, where we came from a while ago. I think it's plane will climb a little faster now. I got the extra power in this plane and everything. All right, while we're headed across here, I'm going to grab a quick bite of my food. And I'll still be sitting there monitoring and watching, and if I get the headset off, I won't be smacking in the mic. I'll be back in a few minutes. minute. Not the meeting, but I thought I'd stop in the middle of the minute. Not have to. Anyway, like I said, we're headed into Buffalo at 28.5 miles out of Buffalo. And since we're up to altitude now, we'll check and see if Toronto comes on from here. By switching this right here, if I got that right, it says I have. Go back and check my book again. It says I'm right. If I got my book right, I believe I do. Alright, now Toronto's on. See, the altitude brought it on. Now it's right there, Toronto right there. But we're not ready to go to Toronto just yet. We're going to go all the way to Buffalo first. Put that back down. I just want to see if it'd come on, and it did. We can actually go back down now if we want to. Get the scenery back up. A little more clearly. As long as we make sure ain't no mountains nothing out here, and it looks like it's all flat country in this area. I don't know about over Canada. Now my head set back off. Still got to run get a cup of coffee. Right back.
$2,500.
Now leveled off. It's just still on 50 parts of it. autopilot down at the bottom, see out throttle's better. On the highway, pretty busy down there. Cars and trucks going. Move that down where I can see out front with the airports and everything better. We're still pretty well on line. We'll be leaving Buffalo. Wrong book. Change books is yesterday. We'll be leaving Buffalo on the heading of 3:30. Supposedly toward the other airport. And as soon as we leave and get straightened out, we'll check, see how much we missed a turn, and go from there. If it don't come on as soon as we turn, we'll climb back up and get it on. We're going to have it when we leave our. But we'll try to get the radio right out first to see how bad we missed it. Last two was pretty good shape. I don't mind missing that much. Because it's in good shape for as your signals and all coming on being recognizable. We'll be setting up the ILS in the Toronto once we turn. Getting it ready for landing. This is the way I do most of my flying. I don't do a lot of hand flying. I can't. I just don't. I like to use the navigation as much as possible. Not fly by other means like GPS direct stuff like that. No, I don't do that much. I do follow these electronic signals as much as possible. And hell, they're taking them down now. They can take them out of the service. Go to GPS or satellite only. I feel like it's a mistake not to have them at the backup, but take my headset back off me. Alright, we're coming from Buffalo now. I need to get set up like I did on the other for that Buffalo. So everything is set straight ahead. Right here. We got this figure the same. I'm gonna go ahead and turn that on for a straight in. I'll maneuver myself to keep the arrow on top. Well, this time I need to turn. I'm not gonna worry about seeing the VOR. I'm just gonna try to make it turn a little more accurately. We turn to a heading of 330. I believe I said, yeah, 330 degrees out of Buffalo. And as soon as we get lined up going out, we'll turn on Toronto and see where we at. Toronto may be on just out. I'm gonna come up 500 feet because it may not be on this low, this distance. I didn't look see how far it was while it really was on. It could be much over 100 miles or maybe just a little under, maybe 60, 70 miles, I don't know. But I didn't check it a while ago while it was on. And I do see that that green arrow was off the dot about at least 1 or 2 clicks. I'm gonna go to the right. Bring that green arrow back to the top. 2 clicks right there. That looks pretty good. And we're out by 7.1 miles from the VOR. The ILS I'm going to try to use, I said, was 11030. The heading was 326, runway 33. 327 place it on the paper, not 6. Okay, we're 6.3 miles out. Our arrow is still pretty well at the top. Well, this time, just as we get there and start across, I want to be turning. I don't want to wait till I get past the turn. See if I can get a little closer turn. We're going into Buffalo, New York right now. If I put all them instruments over on the other panel, I'd be doing all that in the background. Nobody would see it, but then they wouldn't know what I done when I done it. This way you can look and see exactly what I done and when. Even if I was wrong, you'd know I was wrong, you'd done it. And as long as it works for me, it's not wrong. It might not be the way you would do it, but it's not wrong as long as it works for me. And so forth. Now my arrow's showing, still shows the green arrow right on top. The one on the left shows broken a little bit. But the two sit exactly this. No, I've moved one, that's right. I moved one. I ain't got to move that yet though. All I got to do now is keep a green arrow. I'm not worried about the UDN at this point. Now 2 RMI is what I'm flying by now. I'm manually working the autopilot. I'm just flying autopilot, but I'm manually working. I'm not letting it work itself. I'm about 3.9 miles out of the VOR. I think this is going to be before we actually get to the airport. Seemed like it was off to one side. I didn't remember exactly where. Wasn't quite on the airport. And the way I'm flying shows it's not on it. It's to one side. It shows it to the south. Probably the south, southeast, probably before I get to the airport. Still looks good on the green arrow. That's what I'm looking at. We could move the other one, but it won't mean anything. What I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and turn to it, and the heading I'm going to be going. 330. Right there at the heading I'll be going when I leave the VOR. Now when that arrow on the left lines, we're actually on line. Out, not necessarily to the other airport, but out. This is what I predicted. Might not be nowhere around the other airport. I'll tell you that later. But I'll be able to tell you exactly how much I missed it. This was all done using the map FSX and a protractor on the screen for and estimating north before I set the protractor up. Estimating north about 20 degrees to the west over here, to the west side of the map. Straight up about 20 degrees west. Then I read the readings for our airport, putting the center airport on one left and the one I'm reading off in the one corner, read to it. Alright, we are 1 mile out. Be ready to turn here any minute. Now we also drifted off a little. Let's get back over a few degrees toward that line. I want to go closer to it. I don't want it's going to be passing, so it's going to be almost impossible to catch that line. But we can keep turning if we have to. Half mile out. It's time to make our turn anyway. Alright. 3/10 of a mile out. Alright, we just want to cross. Well, what we did, we just got over the top of the VOR. What happened. Now we want to go. I pushed that too far. I held that button too long. Right there where we come around to 3:30. Now we actually shot past our marker. A little late about turning yet. Let's hold this a few minutes while we can come back to the north or east side. Enough to bring that bar back like we did the other way a while ago. Let's line that radial up going out. There she comes back. Now I get this back way. It's moving fast as moving. It is falling weather here. Let's see what the temperature is now. We may be getting into trouble. 41 degrees. We should be alright. There ain't ice or nothing like that. I've got all the protection I need for its icing, I think, but let me see what I got right here. I've got a pitot heat. I don't have wing ice or nothing. Of course, this one wouldn't ordinarily care, but I thought I might have added. I did one or two of my planes. Anyway, we do have a pitot heat, but need it. But as long as it's above 32, I don't think I'll worry too much about it. Fahrenheit. But we'll go back outside the plane now. That ain't outside, but there's outside. And bring our equipment back up, because that's what we was doing. Alright. Alright, this arrow's back about right. And this here's right, and that's right. That's over a little bit. We can go a couple of degrees back to the west side now. Try to bring this bar back. We're probably about ready to change this one over. And it's going to tell me that it's... Let's finish getting this bar on the left side back in line. But we're only off by a very few degrees. That green arrow, right now I'm headed straight toward the green arrow, which is Toronto. And I'm still not lined on this other one, which is Buffalo behind us. Outleg. Trying to get to that outleg before I call it. Where I was once upon a time a while ago, and now I'm over a little bit. So I'm on the back of my arm. Come on, get that bar back over. It's coming back. We need to be on that line. Need to be lined before we call our differences. And the further I get out, the more the difference will show up. When actually it's not that much. Because the further you get out, the further that difference is offline, and the sharper it takes to get back to it. Even though you're really not off that much from the main starting point. We're coming back. We're 6 miles out of Buffalo. I'm gonna come back a little bit. Bring that bar back, line up a little bit. Now get that's our shot right there. Try to get that bar the rest of the way lined. And we're gonna be actually we're not gonna be off it. We're gonna be off if it is through the other direction now. Well, it'll go this direction, look like. We're almost over here now. This bar is about close enough. I'd like to have a little more on it. Bar on the left, a yellow bar. Trying to line it, it's a little broken yet. I'm gonna call that right there, even though it's still a little bit. That's 330. And our difference now is now let's change and see what the difference is. We're on 330, all pretty well online. Change this, and we're off by, we missed our heading at this point by 6 degrees. This here should have been on 30. That's where I was online. It's never set it back on all the way back 30, but now we'll tailboat that anyway. I was online because of the bar was lined. Thought I had that back on 30, but apparently I didn't. But anyway, right there shows roughly 6 degrees what I was on. That's not too bad. Distance is 51 miles from where I am now. Get onto the navigation, let it fly itself in. What we got coming here? Snapping turtle. That's a name. Bear snapping turtle. Now we're back on navigation again. Line itself. Basically across the lake. Let's get up off that water a little hard. I don't know how much cooler it's going to get going across there either if we go north. Maybe a big temperature change when you're in Toronto. So we're going to get back up to 3,000 right there. Get up off that water a little higher. I still got a little more eating to do. Not quite through with it yet. Well, the difference in the actual heading and the angle at which we're flying. Right now, I'm still trying to get over to the line a little bit though. But maybe a wind causing us to grab what we're looking at there now. As long as it stays on that radial, it don't matter about that. The line needs to stay, the bar needs to stay intact no matter what the heading is. As long as the bar is intact, we go in the right direction. And it shows a little broke, but not enough to hurt it. And maybe the wind trying to push it over and it can't quite get back. Let's get back inside the plane a minute. That right there. This is we'll get rid of all this for a few minutes. And still got everything here on the panel. You don't need pop-ups. There's that RMI and this one. I added all this myself on this. In fact, I built this whole panel, I think. Actually, no, I didn't build this whole panel. I took this panel out of another plane, I think, put it in here. Either took it out of another plane or out of this and put it in the other. It's one of the two. I've done both. Our temperature has dropped to 37 now, so it is getting sort of risky. I'm going to go ahead and snap that on in case I ain't looking. Try to keep our airspeed active. If it freezes, your airspeed will drop to 0. Then the autopilot won't know what's going on. We can't fly the plane. I've got auto throttle on this plane, which I know is ridiculous, but I've got it anyway. And without the airspeed working properly, the autopilot don't know what speed you're flying. I haven't learned to get inside of the X-plane stuff yet and work on it, so everything at X-plane is generic, just like it came. I have added a couple of aircraft, so everybody's doing that. I think I've bought about 3 already. And FSX, I bought about 5 the full time I've had it, 20 years, so the rest of them been free. done spent almost as much on aircraft and Flight Simulator X as I did in buying Flight Simulator X. Everything. About the two I bought was on sale though. So one of them was about $13. The other was like 12. And then I think I had one more. I think. Don't remember what it is though. I bought the V-tail Bonanza, and I bought a 152. Seemed like I might have one more. I'm not sure. I forget. The Cessna 152. Neither one of them's got autopilot or even a sense of a good autopilot. They both got somewhat of a ILS VOR capability, but they will not fly the plane. You can use them to so you can manually fly the ILS and stuff. You can turn it on, it'll set up your ILS or VOR, but it won't fly the plane itself. You have to follow the line manually, and not with autopilot manual like I'm doing now. Got to grab the joystick and fly it. And they love to drift off left and right and up and down, always trying to get them trimmed out right. They don't want to trim out right. Anyway, maybe more interesting than that, but at the same time, that's not what I like. I like to be able to say, here's what I'm doing, this is what it's going to do when I tell it to do it. Now let's go back outside the plane a few minutes and bring this stuff back up so we see where we at and what we're doing. 41 miles out of Toronto. I'm going to go ahead and set up the ILS numbers. I've got that on this book. I may verify it on my book. I got this one I wrote down this morning. I said it was 10:30. 1:10:30 actually. I have to keep dropping the 1 because that's just the way I use it. It's always got a 1. You don't have to say it. 10:30. 10:30. Now both of them's right. Then we'll come on about 20 miles out, give or take a little. 28 from the airport. If you are maybe off a little, so maybe a little difference from that. Under or over, where depending on where it's sitting. Hope we got enough fuel. I hadn't checked it since we left. I'm gonna say we do, but it's a long way across that. I guess it wouldn't hurt to look, would it? If you realize now's the time to look, or actually back before you passed Buffalo. Well, let's take a look and see what we got in fuel. Come on, brain. Inside this plane, get rid of that. That's in front of my. And it shows I am running. I got 50 gallons. I'm burning 20 gallons an hour, and this is less than an hour across. This is 21 minutes. We got plenty of fuel. That's the way that's used. Got 50 gallons on board. I'm burning 20 gallons an hour if I don't change nothing. That's 2.5 hours of fuel. And what I here shows 21 minutes to the VOR. We should be in good shape. I don't remember how much fuel this thing holds. I didn't look before we left. But I think we still got well over half, I think. We have used 24. That'll tell me we've used 24 gallons. 50, it holds 74 gallons. If that's accurate, I think it should be pretty close. But we burnt 24 and we got 50 on board. That's 74. So like I said, we burnt about a third, roughly.
Good boy.
Uh-oh, there's somebody on multiplayer trying to talk here, break up. That's what I was talking about. Now we're going out over the lake and we're losing visibility. That is, well, we also climbed up a little, maybe part of it. We can still climb it. No, we're level at 3,000. Go back outside the plane. We're pretty lose visibility, I think. But that's what the high up our equipment's for. When you can't see, that's when it comes into play, sure enough. As we get over there, it may be colder, maybe snowing or something. You don't never know. All right, we got a plane following us. We've got a P-51, it says, following us. Okay. See who he is and where he's at. Jeff, I think. Yep, the guy right there is following us. Probably the same one he just spoke. If he gives us any trouble, we know who he is. As long as he stays out of my plane, away from my plane, he's got it made. To make that mistake would be to be leaving and going goodbye. Razor just signed in to his simulator X-plane. He's done moved totally to X-plane. He's still got the other, but it gives him trouble, so he don't fly it much. Yeah, we're still recording. Verify that right quick. Whoa, quit that. Put that out there in front of everybody. I pushed over, look behind it, cross screens on me. I don't need that up high. Radar's still in the other room. Let me get this flight done. I'll join him and see what he's doing too. Oh, we got down there. I didn't see all that skipping across that water down there. You've got to do that before you push your button. There we go. Oh, that's one of them seams in the map. I think that's a seam in the map that's not correct. It may be a bridge or something down there, but I don't think it is. Not across this lake. It stops right there. It went on. It's a seam in the map. It's an incorrect place in the map, I do believe. You see them every now and then. They stretch on out there. Like a seam in the map, I think. But we have lost visibility of that. We will lose visibility of all land. Uh-oh, he's flying that P-51 around. As long as he stays away from me, we'll be alright. Bring you all I really need there. Well, I like distance, autopilot. I like it all, to be honest with you. So I can see where I'm going, what I'm doing. I've already got this set up, and since I'm not really using this over here, it's on and it's got TME on both sides. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn this one off and set up my ILS on it. Well, now it's parked. It's parked south. I'll set up my ILS on it. I'm gonna sit right here. When the ILS gets on, turns on, it'll tell me so. I won't have to wait to ask it. It'll start beeping. At that point, I can start using the ILS to fly. Somebody else has joined the game. Now, I don't know what he's talking about there on his name, but he didn't last long. He was almost in too deep with me too. Well, we still can't see across the lake this way, but you're not in too bad of trouble long as you can still see across the lake behind you. So we'll let it go at that for now. You don't want to be where you can't see the banks if you're not flying IFR, which I am, so it don't matter. But if you get to where you can't see your banks, your compass is all you got left. But we've got a pretty good compass. Right there. I like that compass there. If I could put that in them other planes, it'd be a lot better. You can see it better. That's the regular magnetic compass default for FSX. I added it up there myself. Wasn't enough room on the monitor on the panel for it. A lot of them's got it on it like a panel across there, so I put it up there. Now, back outside the plane and equipment back where we read what we're doing. step out again a minute. Nature calls. Be right back. We got plenty of time. We're 25 minutes, 25 miles out. Yeah, 26. Well, that was, I don't know what he done while I was gone, but that was a close spin around there. He can get away with that, but he get much closer if he want. All right, we have picked up, well, we got 20 miles out. Okay, we done picked up ILS while I was up stirring around. So let's just get over on the ILS. All right, it's on. It looks like it's there too. So we'll, if he keeps it up, he's gone. He's too close to my plane to suit me. I need to know exactly who he is. He don't know he's caused himself a spot in here. Just did. I need to know who he is, all I need to know. That's that P-51, I know who it is. It's still Jeff, I think. See him turn toward me. I believe that's who it is. Hope it's him, because I just kicked him out. Stay away from my plane. Now we are on ILS, the timers are up. Now we need to set up for landing. We can slow this down about 90 for now. We'll slow down quite a bit more in a few minutes. And I'm gonna turn that noise maker off. I don't need that. It's telling me it's on. I know it's on. We have no DME. We'll go back to the VOR on nav 2 and back over here, and now we got distance. 17 miles out. Now what we want to do is, we don't have no flaps or anything, we don't have to worry about that. Bring this back to the top where I can take care of this. So we have undercast, overcast, fog, whatever you want to call it. Can't see the ground at this point. We're 3,000 feet. I'm going to climb. I like a long, I don't need to climb, I'm going to climb. That's because I want to. I can go as high as airport altitude of where we're going is, I read it a while ago. The altitude, I believe I picked up the wrong book again. Here we go. Which I got over beside me on my other map book too. It's almost 600 feet, 569 feet. So this here leaves you, right there leaves you roughly, well, that leaves you roughly 500 feet above the, 3,000 feet above the ground. That's a plenty. What I want to know now is runway heading. I got it wrote on here too, I said. 327. So set this right here on 327. Let the plane fly itself into 327. Well, wrong. 31327 this way. Well, it's jumping too many. That's what it's doing. 7. There we go. That there is his runway heading. Actually, the ILS will only fly the line anyway. But this tells me that I'm pointed the right way, and I'll be able to look at it and tell that I'm pointed the right way. As long as that's right, and I'm on runway heading, I'm on the right side of the airport. I'm not too bad a shape, but I'm on ILS, so I should be center runway as I come in. Now all we need is the diamonds to start coming down. We're up to 3,500. I'm gonna make sure that everything is calibrated right. It seems to be. And we're down to 90 knots. We're not losing ground, I don't think. It wouldn't hurt to check. As long as the altitude holds. 3,500. It's actually climbing, so we're alright. I'm slow enough, it's having trouble getting back up to the line when it does get under. Probably when I calibrated just that, it jumped off a little. It's making its way back up at 90. That's alright. Should fly at 75 or under, I would think. But if I stay on these other planes so much, it change planes so regular, I can't keep up with which one does what. In fact, I started at one time putting little notations in the plane of the approach speed. That's all I need is for what the bottom speed is on approach speed. The rest of it I can handle it. So, but I put one or two in, and I quit. I didn't do them all, but just a few. I don't remember which ones, but a couple of us got it. We don't have a numbers plate in here. Okay. 35 degrees outside, still above freezing barely. We'll watch for this right here to start moving. Okay, it was a pretty tough sneeze there. Alright, somebody came in, but it ain't the same guy that I just kicked a few minutes ago. He may be back. I hadn't looked. No, he's not back. If that's him, he changed names already. I don't think it's him. You can change names, but to change names in here, you have to change your username in, I believe, in Steam. It uses your usernames. You come in here, you don't get to change that. Alright, we're still at 3,500 here. Alright, we're doing 90 knots. This here's miles per hour here. It says 90, must be 90 miles per hour then. We're doing 90, just a very little over 90 there. But it says miles per hour on there, but it looks like me it's running knots, because it's up here usually knots. Alright, we are moving our glide slope. Once they go to move at any time, you can turn on the glide slope approach button. But the best thing to do is don't turn them on until you know it's moving. This is already lined and this is moving. good shape. Now I'm going to turn on approach. From here on out, it's a matter of airspeed and autopilot will hold the altitude as long as it can. If you get too slow, then the autopilot will pitch your nose too high and stall you out. But with auto throttle, the throttle will make up for some mistakes. Without auto throttle, you have to do it manually. I'm coming down to 80, and the diamonds are falling, it starts down the glide slope when they reach halfway. And not until, if anybody says they're going down the glide slope using the autopilot and that's not lined, they're not going down the glide slope. Unless they've caught the glide slope and overshot it at that point, then it will do it until it catches itself back up. But just starting down it before you get to it and it's up there, it ain't gonna happen. It's lined before it takes over. It'll turn that light right there out. At that point, then I can say, yes, I'm flying the glide slope. Right now, I'm not. I'm flying level to the glide slope. But I'm not flying the glide slope, you know, I got it on. But I'm waiting on it to become part of it. It's fixed to any minute. I just did. Altitude lights is out. I didn't turn that, it turned itself out. Coming down, headed into Toronto Pearson, ILS approach, and we're doing 80 knots. I'm not sure what this thing will fly at, but as long as it holds this altitude, well, here I can't use this. As long as it holds that line there, it's holding its altitude. Now you have to look at this for altitude, not that. As long as that's center, you're in good shape. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go on down to 70 and see if it drops under. If it don't drop under, we'll stay at 70. Or if it drops on a little, makes it back up. Right now I'm actually climbing instead of dropping under. Somebody just made a noise on the mic. I don't have no idea who or why. Used to on Join FS, not Join FS, but on whatever the other one is, I forget now. But anyway, if we was on it, we could go to the chat window and use a special code that would tell who spoke last, and then you know exactly who made the noise because on one noise you heard. But in here you can't do that. There's several codes you can use on the other one that would let you know what's going on within your server. Now we're headed into the runway, and hopefully we got an airport down there at the runway. We are 7 miles off the VOR. VOR could be this side or yonder side of the airport. Probably yonder side, looks of it. We are at an altitude of just dropped under 3,000 feet. 3,800 now, 2,800 now. And now the diamonds are showing me drifting under. If they continue to drift under, I'm too slow for the approach on this plane. If they don't climb back up, I'm too slow for the approach on this plane. The way it has lost it, I'm gonna say I'm too slow. It's lost it without any reason other than speed, and I'm still losing it. So I'm gonna go back up 5 knots. That there might get it back. Now sometimes it won't. Changing 5, it won't throttle for it quick enough to do any good. Sometimes it takes 10 or 15 to do any good, because first thing as it goes down, the nose keeps trying to climb to make up for it, even though you don't have enough power set to do it. And once it gets behind the curve, it's hard to get it back. Sometimes it'll come back 5, sometimes it takes 10 or 15 to get it back, then you slow back down a little. Actually, the best thing probably is shut it off and speed up a little and then set it back. It's coming back. Oh, we got it. 5 did it. All right, we got somebody on the ground off to our right. But we should be dead in front of our. It's showing the runway slightly to our right, but we're crabbing into it, probably due to a little wind or something. Hopefully, we don't have a real tailwind. I haven't checked the wind. I generally don't, but I should. See the plane slide sideways in? That's showing a little crosswind, more than likely. We're in good shape now. See, the diamonds are back where they belong. In fact, they're getting a little lower, but that's because they climbed back up. Now it's having to readjust for the altitude. It'll take a few tries to get it. By then we'll be on the ground probably. I think sometimes you get closer, it can't really keep completely up. It'll be real close. That's good enough. We're coming around toward the runway. Front's coming around. The bar is off a little bit. We're off altitude and bar a little bit. But it's alright. As long as it comes into the runway right, I'm not worried about where that's located. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to... I generally come in the 2D, 3D. I don't need that nowhere no more. I need this one because I got to turn the autopilot off to land. This one right here, 4 miles out, we really don't need it no more. POR may not be, maybe here, maybe yonder, maybe lying anyway a little bit. It just gives you a general, it don't give you an exact. We're down now a little lower. Temperatures come back up. I don't think we need that no more. Too close to worry about it freezing at this temperature, changing that much, that quick. Turn that on right there about a minute. Look at it smoke, look at it smoke. Spraying the peels, ain't we? Now back inside the, I'm gonna go back in here. This time I'm gonna go to here. And here, our view here don't have everything exactly. It's magnified heavier here, it changes, it's not exactly the same. I don't understand what this is here. It's something to do with the view of the plane itself. I think this might have been at once upon a time a security block or something on it. I don't know where I got it. I didn't bootleg it. Somebody might have. Anyway, we're coming into the airport now. I'm gonna go back to 2D. 2D just looks better at this point. This is a good 2D. And this is all closed. We don't need this because we've got one down here. We can use it. This is part of the panel, so we won't mess with it. We don't need this, so we got one right here. Whoops. Closed. We got one right here. We don't need none of that. Coming in. 1,000 feet above the ground. Everything is calibrated right. Everything looks good on the approach lines and all. Where's our airport? Have we got a runway? I think it's behind that yellow post on the right. I hope we've got a runway. I believe it's behind that yellow post. I believe the wind's got us crabbed over enough that it's over behind that yellow post. Or I see a taxiway. Well, like I say, if it's off, it's because they're off, not me. I'm dead on line. I do not see my runway, unless it's out the other side of the airport or something. There it is, right there, on my right. I told you it's right behind that post. It's trying to get over, but it must have a crosswind the way it's acting. That's the only way this simulator gets off that much. It's got a reason for it that I've found. When I come into one like this, if I'm off 9 out of 10, it's a reason for it. This airport is probably right. See, it's getting over to it. That's what it is. Had a wind. We're just getting out of that wind now. Get below it. A crosswind. We still got a little crosswind, probably. I think I can handle it here. 500. I'm gonna take about half of that, and I'm gonna take over. I'm gonna take over right now. I missed the button. Airspeed's off. As long as I don't touch the throttle, it'll hold the same speed it's got now. Get myself over. Get out a little more. Then we'll change the throttle. I have taken over the throttle. Slowing the throttle down. Slowing.
100.
Sound like it ain't slowing down. Must be already idling.
50, 40, 30, 20, 10,
Throttle off.
10.
On the ground, no bounce. I forgot to turn the smoke back off. I meant to turn it back off a while ago. Now, let's take this thing in and park it. I'll taxi down this way a little further. Go right down the runway. I see another exit right up yonder. This is a high speed for the other direction. We're not going to take that one. A little frost on the runway this morning. It's chilly. That's temperature. It's supposed to be frost, but the temperature says 45 degrees Fahrenheit and see frost ice on the ground. Something ain't right. Oh, I heard somebody make a noise again. We're fixing to call this thing good for tonight. This has been a pretty nice long flight. From I'm flying K to Tornado Pierce, VR and ILS, VR navigation, ILS landing. Over here, we'll park this thing somewhere. Slow down a little. Slide sideways. See if I can hear. Turn sharp a minute too. I want to look around that way. Can't open close none of these doors. Oh, I'll just park it out here on the front out here somewhere. Well, we brought this thing into Canada and landed it. I'm just going to park it out here in the middle of nowhere. Set the park brake to the cockpit. Turn all these off. And we'll turn this off. And we'll turn the power off. That's it. She's all down. Best I could turn it. The rest of it won't go off. That's it. This town don't be going bye-bye. Fly another flight or do something else. I'll find another job. I'll find another game to play because one of those is out. Still got the truck and this. Finished up Half-Life 2, episode 2, so now I have to find something else. I got another. I'm going to try to load it up one of these days real soon and see what it does. There'll be a town door. I'm going bye-bye. Catch y'all later. Now can I find the button to shut it off?